This week, the government have introduced the Future Made in Australia Act to Parliament, and part of it involves providing subsidies to certain industries around the country. How much of a risk could this be to productivity, having businesses that could potentially be reliant on subsidies to keep operating?
Well, look, we haven't analysed those specific policies at the Commission. We do put out every year a trade and assistance review where we just track the amount of assistance that's provided to industry, and so these measures will appear in coming years in that publication. We do have a general a view at the Commission, though, that although the rest of the world is engaging in more and more industry policy, for a country like Australia, we're a small open economy, there are risks in us trying to match that huge spending in the US and Europe and China and elsewhere. And so we do have to be careful that we respond appropriately in general to those industry policy developments around the world, because it can start to look like protectionism in some instances.
Yeah, I guess the government's argument is we need to compete with these other big nations around the world that are doing the same thing. So they're kind of in a difficult position as well.
Yeah, and that's why we have called for careful cost-benefit analysis of measures like this. I mean, there are genuine concerns around national security, response to net zero, vulnerable supply chains. Those are all legitimate concerns, but they all play out differently across different industries and in relation to different industry policies around the world, and they each require a very careful and hard-headed assessment about whether the benefits exceed the costs.
You mentioned artificial intelligence at the beginning, but it's pretty clear Aussie businesses are starting to explore the benefits of it, but it can obviously improve productivity a lot. But how do you get the balance right to prevent mass job losses across various different industries?
Well, we think that there are big opportunities for artificial intelligence for improving productivity across Australia. I think the best approach is to have the regulations in place that we already have in a lot of cases to deal with what's coming, and let the jobs market really play out. I mean, those decisions will be made by individual businesses across Australia. They'll assess whether the benefits of AI outweigh the costs, and it's really the key is to have a dynamic, competitive and open economy to take advantage of all of those upsides.
And just finally, what does the recent surge in inflation mean for future productivity growth? Surely it's going to result in businesses increasing their prices again, and in theory, it should reduce productivity even more, shouldn't it?
Well, I think there is a link between productivity and real wage growth. It's a very close link. And real wage growth, if you think about it, that is really the cost of living challenge that people are facing at the moment. If their wage is going up by more than inflation, they're getting a real wage increase and they feel as though their living standards are rising. Whereas if the opposite is true, they're going backwards. And so what we think is that the key to all of this cost of living challenge is to have productivity enhancing policies in place that will allow individuals to work smarter, not harder or longer, and reap the benefits that productivity gains can enjoy right across the economy.
Well, Alex Robson, Deputy Chair of the Productivity Commission, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you. Good to be here.